let's talk about the most basic things that you can do in Autodesk Maya. QWER. These are your 4 most basic tools. Let's go ahead and drop in a primitive shape into our scene. I'll just come up to my poly modeling shelf and I'll drop in a cube. Now, when I press Q, you can see right over here on our far left bar, we go between these different tools. So Q, W, E, R. Q is our select tool. That means if we have multiple cubes in our scene and I have Q, my select tool, activated, I can quickly go back and forth between the 2 tools. W is our move tool. So when I press W, we get this little gizmo that gives us different arrows that we can use to adjust where in our scene this cube sits. You can see that it has 3 different axes. We can go Y, X, and Z. And you have these little squares. What these do is they make sure that they're only going to move it in these 2 axes. So when I look at this blue square, it's only going to move in the Y, and it's only going to move in the X, which means I can quickly do this, and I can do it at an angle without having to worry. Next is our E rotate tool. When I press rotate, I can grab this gizmo and do the same thing as our move tool. We have a couple of different handles. We have one for this axis, one for this axis, and one for this axis. Now, note that the outer ring, the light blue ring, is actually going to be all axes combined. It is based on your camera angle, which means if I'm looking at it perfectly from the side, which I'm not looking at it perfectly in this case, and I move it, you can see it's doing its best to rotate just with our camera angle. Compared to if I look at it from this corner viewpoint, it rotates around that. In most cases, if you're trying to be precise, you don't want to use that outer ring. The next tool is our R, which is for scale. The scale tool works exactly as you'd expect, using the same type of gizmo. I can grab any of these to scale it in that axis. And similarly, I can grab it in one of these blue boxes or side boxes to scale it in only those 2 specific axes. Now, with any tool, this applies to just about every single tool in Maya, you have what are called tool settings. To access your tool settings, you can see I'm on my move tool. Just come right over here to where you have your tool selected. You can see that it's highlighted blue and it says move tool. If you double click, you can access your tool settings. I'm not going to go into the specific settings of these tools in this case, but just know that you can access tool settings for almost every single tool in Maya. And if you'd like a more convenient way to access it, you could actually just take this window and kind of pop it into your shelf. So now I could very easily open and close the tool settings tab for any tool I have selected.